Hi, welcome to the Duopoly Report. This is Steve Cavieres, and I was going to rest my voice for another day or two before I started making videos, and then a news story came up that had to be talked about. This is about, you want to talk about duopoly and donkey fan action in the extreme. Well, on the 15th of January, we got a little bit of a surprise. We got a surprise in the county commission. But I'm going to run through for you like how epic it is by showing you some similar examples from the past. All right. Now, in the very first video I ever did back in early 2019, I talked to you about the state legislature, in particular the New Mexico State Senate. And the New Mexico State Senate, as you see in this graphic here, has 26 Democrats and 16 Republicans. And yet what has been happening is 7 of those Democrats have been coalescing with the Republicans and have been forming a majority that's actually running the committees in the Senate and other things like that. Now, so you have a situation here where you've got 62% Democrats, at least by their label, in this body, and yet we get a conservative / Republican coalition. So that's with 62% Democrats. We still can't get Democrats really running the show. Then another example that's a little bit even easier to do is on the city council. On the city council in 2017, people worked their butts off to help elect Cynthia Borrego to the district that's in the northwest Cottonwood area. That city council district had always been owned by Republicans. She was taking on, there was a three-way race. She was in the top 2 in a runoff against Robert Aragon, former Democrat who became a prominent Republican. It was a hot race. People came in from all over the city, all over the county to help Cynthia Borrego flip that district. And in a 5-4 vote, her first action is electing a new council president. And on a 5-4 vote, which she was a part of, they elect Republican Don Harris as the president of the city council. Republican Don Harris, when there was, after her victory, only 3 Republicans on a body of 9. So there was a 66% Democrats, and they elected a Republican as the chairman of their body. And there's also another example I knew from long ago, back in 92, a gentleman named Pat Baca, who was a city councilor from then the Seoul West Side District. It was a district that basically went from central to the north to the county line on the west side. Back then, they only had one city council district. He ran for mayor, lost in a runoff to Luis Saavedra. He only captured the west side area over Luis Saavedra. He lost. He decided to run for the county commission on the west side, and he won. And there were 2 other Democrats and 2 other Republicans on that county commission. And so it was 66.67% Democrat by registration. And he made a deal with the 2 Republicans that if they would vote for him as chairman, then he would let one of the Republicans be vice chair and run the committees and stuff. And so that happened. A nice long history of some of this stuff. Well, so we've had a case here, like 62% Democrats, 2 cases where I said there was 67% Democrats, and they elect a Republican to lead them. But now we've seen a epic, historic one-up on that I don't know if it could ever be like, if it could ever be beat. Far be it from me to say, what donkey fans will do when they try so hard. And here we are. We have news from Bernalillo County on the 15th, and if I zoom in here, the Bernco Commission elects a new chair and vice chair on January 15th, 2020. District 4 Commissioner Lonnie Talbert is the new chair of the Bernalillo County Commission. District 5 Commissioner Charlene Piscotty is the new vice chair. Talbert and Piscotty will serve in their respective leadership capacities for the 2020 calendar year. The vote, Talbert was elected on a 3-2 vote with Commissioners O'Malley and Colley against. Piscotty was elected on a 4-1 vote with Commissioner O'Malley voting against. So here's what they're not going to tell you in this, because it's like an official press release from a governmental body. Oddly enough, the Albuquerque Journal, I searched through their archives and I could not find a story on this. And there's probably a reason why. They're just quietly laughing to themselves right now. Because the Bernalillo County Commission, after Charlene Piscotty got elected to a seat that was the Far Heights and the East Mountainside of Bernalillo County, a district that had always been held by Republicans, and that was a flip seat to the Democrats, and that turned a 3-2 Democrat-Republican commission to a 4-1 Democratic-controlled commission. There's only one Republican sitting on the Bernalillo County Commission, and as of today, he's the freaking chairman of the entire body. How the hell does that happen? Well, it happens when you get a couple of donkey fans voting for that sole Republican. Are you kidding me? 4-1 is 80% Democratic controlled by registration. 80%. 80%. There's only one freaking Republican on that body, and you made him the chairman? What are you thinking? Why in the hell do we bother then to vote for Democrats if all they're going to do is put Republicans in the position of power? It's absolute insanity. This is crazy. 80%. 80%. And you can't figure out how to elect a Democrat to chair the commission? On what universe did you think this was okay? I would like to know. Although, what it really boils down to, I was talking to someone else who's a person who tracks politics and interested, and he asked me, why do you think they did that? And I thought for about 10 seconds, and then I said, you know what my true answer is? I don't give a damn why they did it. That was a bad move, period. Bad. You want Lonnie Talbert involved with the county commission? Fine, involve him. Don't allow him to be the freaking leader when he's outnumbered 4-1. So, the only thing going on here then is complete Donkey Fant action right there, right? Mr. Donkey Fant. So who are they? We got Charlene Piscotty, the one I just mentioned, who campaigned hard in 2018, won the primary. There was a primary challenge. She won, went into the general in a district that had never been won by a Democrat, won it. And if you ask a lot of active Democrats who were involved in her campaign, a lot of them felt like she had told them that she was a more progressive person, she was going to be great, and you could trust her. Just, trust me. Now, this is kind of a culmination of some votes because she's been problematic last year on the commission as well, and kind of tilted her hand in the sense that she was not necessarily what she was telling loyal Democrats who she was. And look, I get it. You're in a tougher district than others on the commission, sure. And you might have to be a little bit more measured sometimes when dealing with certain issues, sure. But in a partisan body setting, when you're dealing with creating leadership that can also then control committees and other things, putting putting the minority in power and someone that's not in your party or not is absolute insanity. The only other thing that it could be is one of two things: that you're more like Republican Lonnie Talbert than you've let on, and so that's why you were comfortable voting for him. Or number two, you are now the vice chair of that commission, and so you sold out for a little piece of power, is what you did. Couldn't you have become vice chair with one of the other Democrats as a chair? And then, the other person who voted, Steven Michaelquezada, who I've been calling Steven Michaelquezada from the beginning, another in a long history, like Pat Baca, like Art de la Cruz, ready, willing, and able to take his 30 pieces of silver from big business and developer interests and go along with what they want. And so, not as much of a surprise from him, but still, that's donkey fan action. He did it as well. He comes from a district that has a bigger Democrat to Republican ratio than any district in the county. So he's telling his district, which I don't have the stats on me right now. I think it's at least 60%, if not more, to just take a flying leap. Unbelievable, unfreaking believable. His district's not like Charlene's, but he's been vendido from the beginning. So, but you know what? He's up for election this year. So, I think it would be great to let all the Democrats know in that district that, how much he loves being a Republican, that maybe he should change registrations. But he doesn't, because he knows he can't get elected as a Republican in that district. So he just puts on the donkey hat and, and like the good actor that he is, pretends to be a Democrat during election time. But is purely fine putting Lonnie Talbert on the commission. And who is Lonnie Talbert? Well, when I look back in the Albuquerque Journal, there was a little bio that was done in 2011 when he first ran, and when they were going down the history of some of the things that he's done, a couple things stood out to me here is that he's the former chairman of the Greater Albuquerque Chamber of Commerce and the former chairman of the board for March of Dimes, that's fine, and the former board member for the Association of Commerce and Industry, the ACI. And if you don't know about the ACI, they're not even interested in small business. They tend to represent very big business and their interests. And the ACI is super conservative, pro-business to a fault, and doesn't give a damn what the little guy thinks. So if you're esteemed enough with the ACI to be on their board, you're not a friend of the people. And that's who Steven Michaelquezada and Charlene Piscotty just elected to run the Bernalillo County Commission. So, two things. I think you need to start finding a replacement for Charlene 2 years from now, as well as Steven Michaelquezada needs a serious challenge. And don't even lift a finger for her the next time she runs for office. This is absolute insanity. I mean, this is crazy. 80% Democratic and a Republican's running the commission. 80 freaking percent. 80. Put that in your head one more time. 80. Nearly 100%. I almost think that if all 5 of the commissioners were Democrats, one of them would then immediately resign and allow a Republican to be placed in its place, and they would make them the leader. This is total lunacy. My thanks to Commissioner Debbie O'Malley for voting no on both Talbert and Piscotty. My thanks to newly appointed Commissioner Cawley for at least voting no on Talbert. Thank you for doing that. 80%, 80 freaking percent. I've never seen this before in my life. So Charlene Piscotty, you now get a nomination for January 2020 Donkey Fan of the Month Award. Now, who knows? There may be someone who's going to try to top you. This is pretty freaking big. I mean, we're talking historic big. But in the land of enchantment politics, you never know when another Democrat's going to come out and out-Republican another one. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening to the Duopoly Report. Please like this video. Subscribe if you haven't hit the bell. Think about becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/Duopoly Report. Also, if you use the Brave browser to watch these videos, up there you'll see a blue check mark on the Brave bat symbol, and you can donate bat tokens to the Duopoly Report that you earn from watching ads on the Brave browser. So there's many ways to support the Duopoly Report. Please do. I want to do more than I did last year, and I think that that you deserve to have more. I want to give you more. I need some support, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.